Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Football Today with O.Phils and friends. And this edition, we are bringing you closer to the competition going on right now, the tournament. It is UEFA European Championship happening live from January. This is January 2024. And tonight, wherever you are, it might be in the morning, in the afternoon, I have two great friends with me, and they will be analyzing the games that have passed and the games that are coming. We'll be looking into them. I have Timmy Oni, is someone you know very well, the only Arsenal fan friend I have. He's been with us before. Uh, Timmy, say hi to our
Hello,
viewers.
everyone. Hello, everyone. I remain an Arsenal fan forever. Trust the process.
And again, I have another great friend with me today. His real name is David. But on the tag you see Lady May, that's the wife. Another
I
man
can
you
change
fan.
that. I can change that.
Yeah, yeah. You can change it later. But that's David for you. Another man you fan. Say hello to our guys.
Hello, nice to be here. Always a Man U fan, even though things are not going well. Always a Man U fan.
All right, let's dig quickly into
Yeah.
it. It's been uh, a very exciting tournament so far. We're enjoying ourselves. We're seeing a lot of surprises, um, entertainment, and sometimes some boring games. And recently, we've seen some late goals, uh, which is making the competition so exciting. Um, we are in England, and either we like it or not, we support England, even maybe not with all our heart because we are here. So
I don't.
even if you don't support England, you live in England, you see what's happening. You cannot live away from the English media. You hear it all the time. You hear everything about them. So, how has the English team been for you? Let's start with David.
Well, I think it's a mixed bag of results for England. I think the problem I've always had with England is there's always that expectation. During the last Euros, I think the chance that was coming out was, oh, it's coming home. During the last World Cup, it's coming home. I don't think I heard so much of it's coming home this time, but it's been an interesting one. I think there was a lot of expectation for this England squad. One, because Jude Bellingham just won the Champions League. Phil Foden has been doing very well. So there was a lot of expectation that, they will do very well. I think the group stage has not been really brilliant. They seem very lethargic and very tired. We saw what happened. Even the fans were booing, the players at the end of the matches. So I don't think that's really great. Hopefully, we should see some changes coming through. But the performances have been quite poor.
Wow. Timmy, the last time you said you're not supporting them, they are not playing as a team, you don't see them going anywhere. Have you changed your mind on this English
No,
British team?
no, I haven't changed my mind. But I wish them all the best. To be honest, I want them to do well. To be honest, in all honesty. But every time you watch them play, you see a lot of ways that I don't know. I feel I'm not just a big fan of their coach. I think that they have the most complete team, and I expect them to play much better. Um, Historically, England has always been like this, but I think they have a better chance with the profile of players that they have now. But they're not playing to their strength. A lot too passive in they did better in this last game. To be honest, they did better in this
Yeah.
last game. They pressed well, but when it was time for them to attack, especially sustain pressure, they are making runs in between the spaces that were available and everything
Yeah.
like that. It was as if they were tired, like Oxapo said, they were tired, and as if they just didn't know what they wanted to do. So yeah.
Exactly. That
Yeah.
that would be my next observation, and I want you guys to react to it. What do you think is the main cause for them playing like this? I know they've been with Southgate. He's always a defensive minded coach, but apart from that, we do see them scoring more or creating clearer chances. But this time, they were struggling even to create any chance at all. They were struggling. They were really, really struggling. What do you think is the cause this time around?
I, I mean, if I can go first for this one, I mean, I'm not sure it's very clear what the problem is, but I think what some of the observations that's come out is many times they do better in the second half as compared to the first half. They start very slow, and then somehow maybe they try and pick up in the second half. It could also be just like Timmy has said. I don't think Southgate is probably the most exciting coach that we have there with respect to tactics. He's quite defensive, just like you said. I don't think he's so much of a very attack-focused, coach. I think with the talent they have, definitely we should see some more goals. So I think it could be tactical. It could also be that they're just tired. I think we've just finished the Premier League season, Champions League just finished few weeks ago, and then now straight into this. I think there's a lot of expectation also from their own end. And lastly, I think they've also played 3 teams that have been very, very defensive. Okay, so I think maybe maybe a little bit of, we can give them a little bit of leeway there that, they've been playing this defensive team. So if we see them play a very attack-focused team, there'll probably be more spaces at the back. Maybe we'll now see them, really going forward and doing a lot more.
Timmy, I will come to you. Almost the same question. I remember the last time we spoke about the team in general. You were hammering on Titi, that's Alexander Arnold. Why is he playing in the middle of the park? He changed it this time around. He brought in Gallagher, and still they couldn't create clear-cut chances. And again, he tried Amino. It doesn't still seem like as if something is working right or not working, especially in the middle of the park.
So I think firstly, when we look at it holistically, we will see that they, like I said, against Slovenia, when they had more security at the back, we had Gallagher.
Serbia first before Slovenia.
Alexander did not play as a midfielder against Slovenia. I didn't think he played as a midfielder against Serbia. He didn't. He played as a midfielder against Slovenia. And that's what I was talking about, which is just the fact that if you see the game against Slovenia, they played quite well, much better than the way they've been playing before.
It was remember that we did the program before Slovenia, and you were attacking him. That was he doing in the middle of the park? It was Serbia, then Slovenia, then Denmark. Slovenia was the last game.
Yes, what I'm saying is that if you watch the game against Slovenia, there was much more security. Declan Rice was not jumping from pillar to post. He wasn't trying to babysit Trent Alexander-Arnold. And you could see Gallagher moving more. There was more mobility in the midfield. You understand? The only problems that they had was just that they were too slow when they get to that particular half of the field, especially playing against teams that had low blocks. And everybody has struggled with that. Any team that plays low, everybody has struggled, including Almighty France. So I think that, and then remember when they brought in Kobe Menu, you can see the way they were controlling, they were controlling the game much better. They were controlling the ball much better. They were attacking much better. The only difference was just that, that spark was not there. And I think they might get it, like Uncle Sanko said before, there's a very high possibility that when they meet a team that is attacking, there'll be much more spaces for Saka to run, I expect them to use Anthony Gordon more, for Anthony Gordon to run, for Harry Kane to move, and the like. So it's quite a number of things that was just wrong with the old team. Yeah.
And I remember also that when I think it's the first game when they took Harry Kane out, maybe second game, I wasn't sure. When
Oli Watkins came in.
He was running behind the defenders.
Yeah,
we haven't seen that often. We haven't seen that often. Hopefully, we see more of that.
Yeah, that was the same thing. Harry Kane is also part of the problems that Southgate is having. But the truth is, a good manager knows how to. It's like I said, it's about getting the balance. Tournaments like this is not always about tactics, which it doesn't actually have, in all honesty. But it's more always about getting the balance between your attack and your defense, giving your top players that space to excel, giving Saka that space, giving Harry Kane that space, giving Foden that space, Bellingham that space. Rice is not good as a lone six. You are leaving him as a lone six with Alexander. No, it's not going to. It won't spell well, But you see how he had Maino. You see how Rice was playing much better, So that's my point. Kyle Walker has the speed. He has the speed to run the full length of the pitch every time.
Yeah,
but I didn't see him really overlap in those games, which was one of the things that Ben White was doing for Saka. There were no pockets of spaces for Saka to have these 1-2 combinations between maybe Bellingham, for example, which Bellingham was far at the right, at the left. If you look at Real Madrid, they don't really want to have the ball so much, but they create that balance. For those players to excel. And that's why they have so many, I feel Southgate might get it at some point anyway. So
Hopefully.
This game is full of surprises.
I mean, just like you said, Timmy, I think one of the criticisms for Southgate has been that, he's not very dynamic. He sticks to certain players and he doesn't want to change. I mean, there's been so much of commitment. I mean, for instance, why is Luke Shaw still there? I mean, he's not played in a while. He's been so committed to having Harry Maguire. Okay, until recently, maybe he had to kind of let him off, or always having Harry Kane where Oli Watkins is there. So I think he probably needs to change a little bit. I think when he brought in Oli Watkins for Harry Kane, you could see the energy, and I think if he brings in those players who are hungry to have the England shirts and to prove themselves. I mean, Harry Kane has always been a great for England, but you need to bring in those extra players with extra energy to be able to change things around and do things differently. I think that's what he needs to be able to do. He needs to be able to take risk, but because he's every time I see him, I just think of Mourinho, because Mourinho is probably one of the managers that is always defensive, and I think Southgate has that also. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Let's recap all the last match days, starting from Group A. We spoke about Germany, Scotland, the first games, the match day one, which were interesting. And Timmy, if I'm not mistaken, we predicted who we want to see to move on. We said Germany. Was it Switzerland or
Switzerland? Yeah, I said Germany, Switzerland, and I wrote off Scotland.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I said Scotland I'm sorry, but Scotland is one of the worst teams in the Euros, and they deservedly left.
They never put you wrong.
But then Switzerland has also proved to be very good. And then, you know what I was saying about, you can have all the tactics. That's one funny thing about this kind of competitions. You can have all the tactics and you still lose. You can have all the tactics and you will not win, which was what happened in Germany, Switzerland. You can. It's which was okay. Maybe when we get to the Portugal group as well, we would also be able to talk more about that. So yeah, it's all about being lucky as well. It's part of football, to be honest. Being lucky is part of football.
Yeah. Sanford, what do you think of Germany's performance so far?
I mean, I think playing on home soil kind of just gives him that extra energy, that extra motivation. I didn't expect anything less. Of course, there were loads of concerns before the tournament started with respect, to their performance, but I think they've done very well. And even though I wasn't in the first show, but I think I agree that Scotland is probably one of the worst teams we have. Hungary had no chance in that group, really. So there was just no chance that any of those two teams, Hungary or Scotland, could have done much against Germany and Switzerland. They have too much quality, really, to be able to go out. So I think it's a good prediction you guys made at the start, and I think it works very well.
I was actually thinking that Hungary is going to do something good. I said it to them against Switzerland, but they proved that they are still not there.
Yeah, I mean, for a team to do well, I think it's either you've got excellent players that can bring a moment of magic, or you've got a coach who can probably bring in some tactical genius or something to kind of change games. And I don't think Hungary have any of those. So no chance, I think.
All right, let's move on to Group B quickly because of our time. Yeah, Group B, we have Spain, Italy, Croatia, Albania. This was an interesting one because till the end of the game against Italy, we're thinking Croatia has done enough. But I believe 88 minutes or 89 minutes, Italy made it through. Yeah, let's start with David this time around. This group, what can you say to this? Beautiful group.
Yeah, I think it was a done deal, right? That Spain was always going to go through. I think they've got too much quality. Those two wingers they have really running with the ball and making very very great runs. I think Spain was very very obvious. Italy was the one that we weren't sure. Of course, they had lost their coach and this new coach had come in. They've got a very young squad also.
Yeah.
I think during the last Euros they had people like is it Cellini and some of the old guys with a lot of experience. They brought into the picture. So this was a young squad, and there was a lot of doubt as to how much they can really perform. So I think for me, my prediction initially was Spain will go through, and it would have been between either Italy or Croatia. Okay, Croatia just because they have Modric in there, who is pretty much their talisman. It's very unfortunate, with the draw that Croatia had, so they couldn't make the top best third place.
Yeah.
I think that was what they were going for.
Yeah.
So, but it's quite interesting to see. I don't think Italy will go very far. I mean, they've made it to round of 16, but I don't see them going very far.
Yeah,
really.
but
probably Spain will probably go far.
Don't forget that Italy has always played like this. You think you don't give them anything, they just keep going on. That's how they did it. They won the World Cup. That's how they won the last Euro. So don't
just exactly. So this group is also a definition of luck as well. Croatia was unlucky all through. The first game, the game they lost against Spain, they dominated Spain. They created more chances. They could not take their chances and made 3 crucial mistakes, which I analyzed in the last podcast, and they were just unlucky. That's the truth. And Italy was lucky, and like you said, Italy has always historically been lucky. And I don't know, these guys might be lucky again because they have a young squad that is very hungry. That's another thing that we need to know. And they have a lot of quality players as well in Italy that we don't know their names. The media is not hyping them. So there's not too much pressure on them to perform. So they can perform at their own pace. Spain, I have a few issues with Spain. The first issue that I have is they don't have a proper striker. That's the first issue. Which, if they play using a false 9 with Morata or Ferran Torres or any of these guys, I think they will cause a lot of problems. But when I see them play, they are very passive. They are too passive, especially when they are with their passes. Very, very passive, as if their passes don't have anything. I understand that they are trying to create space for their wingers, but when you get a team that plays 5 in defense and a very low block team that can run 90 minutes and there are no spaces, let's see how they perform in those kind of games.
Yeah. And I agree with you. Someone described Spain as being, in physics, they say they are vectors and they scalar. Okay, so a vector is where you have magnitude and direction. But Spain have the magnitude of the passes, but there's no direction in terms of are they attacking focus, I mean, of course, I think the argument someone gave was during the last Euros they won, which was Euros 2012. Was it 2012 they won? I think. Was it 2012? The last Euro they won anyway. They didn't also have a striker. Okay, they didn't have a striker, but of course they had the quality of Xavi and Iniesta in that squad. So, and even David Silva, but I don't think they have that kind of quality now. So yes, they didn't have a very proper striker then, but they beat Italy 4-0 in the final. Okay, with people like Andre Pirlo in that squad. But yeah, I agree with you that this particular Spanish squad, I don't see them going very far. Also, in terms of maybe they might get to maybe quarters, but maybe not the semifinals, and probably winning the cup.
Yeah. Let's move on to Group C. Group C, our lovely group.
Well, England has always been lucky with their groups, anyways. But I just feel that if England was not in this group, I'm not really sure that England would have qualified, to be honest. So they are lucky this time around that Denmark is there. But I don't really see Denmark. You know, I think England and Denmark will struggle to pass the next stage. You know, the next round of knockouts. It was quite a pretty easy group for England, but then they were just able to make just 5 points. Slovenia also put up a good fight, but that's football. And Serbia as well put up a good fight, but you know, and then these are all 3 teams were teams who just decided to play defensive. So, but let's see how England and Denmark will set up.
This group happened to be one of the groups in the history of European Championship to score so low goals. You know, they scored very, very low.
Yeah.
It was disappointing, to be sincere.
Yeah.
Because of our time, David, let's move on to I know you want to talk about England. We will still come back to England because they are playing.
No problem.
We move on to Group D. We will still come back to England. We will do our prediction against Slovakia. Now, Group D, another interesting group. This group really, really opened up at a point in time, and we were like, who is going to make it, who's not going to make it, and they were actually having good points, unlike other groups that they were like points. These are like 5 points, 6 points, 4 pointer. You know, Timmy.
Yeah.
This group for you.
Yeah, for me, this is the best group, to be honest. And it was just Poland was just unlucky to be in this group, unfortunately. And to be honest, I won't criticize Netherlands too much because Austria played so well, France played, even Poland played well, and Austria is the dark horse. I was watching their first 2 games, and I was watching. I'm like, wow, this team, the way this team runs, they have a very good ethics on the pitch. They run so well. Rangnick had already said it in the beginning because I remember I saw one of his press conference and he said players who cannot run will not be called up. He said that, and that was simple. And he called up those who can run. Those guys can literally run 120 minutes. They've got the energy.
Yeah. Do you know what they call Rangnick? The grandfather of Gede Press.
Yes, actually, yes. Because I was watching one of these videos about because I had a little argument with somebody on Twitter about zonal marking and man marking, and I had to go and because the person mentioned something, and then so that I won't make a mess of myself on Twitter, I had to go and check Ragnick's past tactical setup. This guy is fantastic. This guy is really, really fantastic, and Austria is dangerous with this guy. Yeah. They run so well. They cover so much space. It was like the old German style, old club style in Borussia Dortmund and Mainz. That's the way these guys play. I love the way they play. France has been unlucky. They have quality players, but because everybody knows it is France, so the defending is, if the defending was 50 before, then it becomes 150 because it's France. It's Dembele. Dembele can use both feet. Mbappe can create separations. They've got that quality. And Netherlands, well. Let's see with Netherlands. Yeah, but they've been really impressive.
Salvo, let's go to Group E.
Yeah.
Another surprise with Romania topping this group. Nobody seen this one coming. I was saying Belgium and Slovakia will qualify, but I was lucky because Slovakia made it through best loser in the group. Yeah. Over to you.
Yeah, I think the reason why probably Romania, first game was against Ukraine, and I thought they did very well in terms of winning that game 3-0. Even they won the first game, I think it was almost very obvious that they might be able to get through because they already have 3 points. All they just needed to probably do was to probably draw one of the other 2 matches. Okay. Belgium have been disappointing, I would say. During their last game, there was that beautiful run from De Bruyne in midfield, gave it to Lukaku, and Lukaku's composure. We do know Lukaku's problem. Many times, maybe because of his weight, he doesn't have very good balance. and I was really, really disappointed. He has had so many chances, but just never converted them. So I mean, at the beginning of the tournament, I was thinking probably Lukaku. I mean, looking at that group with Ukraine and Slovakia, I was thinking probably Lukaku will probably win Golden Boot, for the tournament. But I'm not sure of that anymore. With respect to that,
I will
Ukraine.
ask you guys a question about Lukaku at the end of the show.
But
Yeah.
then we have to also be a bit fair that I've watched all Belgium's games and they are well set up, to be honest. Tactically well set up.
Oh, yes.
Lukaku has also been unlucky. He's got 2 goals. Is it 2 or 3 goals now that has been ruled off by
disallowed? Yeah.
Disallowed by VAR.
That would be my question.
They've been really, really unlucky, to be honest. And I think that maybe a bit of luck, Belgium might also be in that course as well.
They just need to work on their finishing as far as I'm concerned. They have good possession.
It's not about finishing, it's just about being unlucky. Lukaku is, I feel maybe they probably do better with Trossard in front. Maybe, I think, using Arsenal style, using Trossard as more of a false 9 will give more space to people like De Bruyne and what's that? Doku. It will give those guys more space. Doku is not also a lethal finisher, but I mean, and then Ukraine, so sorry for them because this is the first time since '94 that a team will have 4 points and they would not qualify.
And still,
If they were, England's group, in England's group, they will top that group and qualify. But sorry.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's quite really interesting that all 4 teams had 4 points. I've never seen that before.
That was what I was saying. It was so surprising. This group, it really shook us. Let's move on. Adesola, you're welcome. You joining us. We have Group F. This is the group. I think this is Adesola's group because he was saying watch out for Georgia. He was the first person that said watch out for Georgia. And come on, Georgia really, really proved that they are here to stay. Adesola, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm with you, sir.
What can you say to this group? They are finished, and your guys made it.
Impressive performance from Georgia. I just felt that from their first performance in the first match, I just knew that they were a team they're a very rugged team. Although they don't have like Kvaratskhelia as their only notable name from before. But now is it Kazadish or something? This is the top scorer now. So they are a team that knows how to defend, they know how to play. They are very good on the board in between spaces. See the way they played against Portugal. They completely outplayed Portugal. Portugal barely had sniffs. The big chances Portugal had were at big clear-cut chances were long distance shots. So Georgia, to be honest, they are one of the teams that have impressed me. Aside Austria, they and Austria are the 2 teams that have impressed me the most so far.
That's good. Boye supporter with our almighty CR7. What's going on in this group?
Look, Ronaldo has won everything. I think he has to understand that he doesn't have the pace anymore. He doesn't have the energy anymore. He's there to galvanize the squad together. I liked the fact that, during their second game, he had the chance to shoot and he assisted Bruno Fernandes. That was very good. Okay, so I think also I don't know whether this is something they would have probably discussed. I think he should understand that he's not going to start every game. Okay, and even if he starts every game, he should probably be substituted maybe after first half. Okay, but I think he's just there, one as a player to kind of galvanize the squad and kind of to give them that extra motivation. But of course, we know he doesn't have the legs anymore. So, but it's good to still see him there. I just sometimes I'm not sure whether he's more of a burden, and probably he's stopping other top players from coming through. So.
Actually, the problem with that is that first, I think it's frustration.
We can hear you.
Can I just come in?
Not performing as much.
Timmy, sorry, I won't let you talk about this group. We need to move. You know, that's
Okay,
what
all
happened
right.
last time.
Okay.
Yeah. I just wanted to just point out that just 1 minute, please. What if I told you that from all the teams in the Euros, Czechia actually has the best defensive setup? In all honesty, if you go back and watch their 3 games, they have the best defensive setup, but they were unlocking that last game to get an early red card. Also, remember I mentioned about Portugal, Ronaldo being a curse or a blessing as well,
Yeah, we
which
said it.
which showed up in Georgia game. One of the problems that they had, we must also remember that Portugal used their second team, the types of Joao Neves
Yeah.
and the rest.
But with
But
Ronaldo still.
yes, so the problem is they want, you see, if you want to defend properly, you defend from the goal kick. So will Ronaldo be able to run, and if they are doing a man marking, will he be able to zone man marking, follow his marker? If there's zonal marking, block the lines of spaces, move between spaces, when they're off the ball, off the ball movements. Those are one of the biggest problems that he has. And then the other guy has been injured for a while, so which also gave them a big issue. And Georgia, those guys run like Austria too. They got energy. Yeah.
All right, because of our time, we're moving out to our prediction for round of 16. Let's start with Adesola this time. We do quick prediction. Adesola, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm with you.
Sorry, you said you don't want to be called Adesola. Adeboye.
Yeah, it's fine.
That
Of
you don't
Adeboye,
know.
anyone.
Yeah. We were talking about that group, the group F. One thing we didn't really talk about is Turkey.
Mhm.
We're not too bad. The way people are looking. And don't forget that they had this young guy. Yeah, the 90-year-old.
Okay, Adegola, yeah.
Yeah.
Adagula was not been really. I think one of the people that they really had is Hagi, that guy, the
Who?
son of the great Hagi.
Yeah, is it their
Oh.
team? I wasn't
Is it not?
sure. Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
was.
forgot his name. I thought Agi was Romania.
Was he in Romania?
Yeah, Agi
Was
was.
he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's Romania. Oh yeah.
Romania.
Yeah. But the person you're talking about is
Adagula.
one.
Adagula.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was
Adagula.
talking about
He's
Adagula.
Madrid boy.
yeah,
He scored one
he's
wonder
got a
goal.
brilliant goal. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a brilliant goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is it?
Adesola Adeboye. Sorry, David. What do you think? What's your prediction for Australia, Turkey? We've been talking about Australia. We've been giving them kudos, but don't write off Turkey. What do you think?
As much as you can't write off any team with the way this tournament has gone, I still think Austria pose too much of a compact setup. They attack together, defend together, and I think they will still be too much for Turkey to handle. Turkey is a decent team with players who can turn up and change the game at any point in time. They have Gola, they have Çalhanoğlu, they have a couple of players as well that can just do things on their own. But I will still stick with the team that actually works as a team. They are well composed unit. So I still think Austria would get the better of Turkey.
Cool.
Yeah, I agree. Turkey lost 3-0 to Portugal as well. I think Turkey was lucky to come out of this group.
Yeah.
Where they have 4 points, isn't it?
Yeah, they drew. They beat Georgia. They beat Georgia 3-1, and then they
drew one game.
Yeah,
that was first game.
No, they beat Georgia. That was the first game. The second game they lost 3-0. And then the third game was the game against Czechia, where Czechia got a red card. And they struggled till the end. It was 1-1 until then. Turkey was able to, score 2 more goals. I think they were lucky to come out of the group. I think they are coming out. Austria is good. Yeah.
We're speaking about Italy that they can wake up anytime. They can just keep going on like that and do wonders. With Switzerland, they've been surprising us as well. With Xhaka leading them with everything is got. And they still got some quality players. I said it the last time that when you look at their bench, you'll be like, wow, Switzerland has got one of the individual players that are very good and they've been there for a while. What are you saying to Switzerland, Italy?
It's a tough one, to be honest. I fancy Italy's chances and I fancy Switzerland's chances. But I think Switzerland will go. Judging from how both teams have been playing, Italy has really struggled, but Italy has always been lucky. Uh, luck aside, I think Switzerland will go. Will go in this group in this one. I'll give it to Switzerland. Yeah.
I agree with you. I think, just as you said, Italy have struggled, especially attacking wise.
Yeah.
They really struggle going forward.
Yeah.
For some reason, their attackers, the 4-4-2 has not really been working for them. Fratesi and Fratesi mainly is the person that like attacks the box. And these two strikers, when they use two strikers up top, it doesn't really, they're not gelled well for them. They've not been able to integrate their wingers as much. So I think they will really struggle. Switzerland are a very compact team as well. And kudos to Granit Xhaka. He has really shown he's really an elite player. Orchestrating the team from defense to attack, everything. He's been a very important piece. And I think if he can do what he has done in the two last 2 matches I watched, they should be able to beat Italy. Italy is not there yet.
Thank you, Mr. Adeboye. We need to move. Well, I'm still with Italy. I believe they can do wonders with the way they play. Italy, please prove me wrong. Salvo, Romania led Netherlands.
I mean, I think even though the Netherlands didn't play very well during the group stages, I think, and this is going to apply to some of the other kind of fixtures. I think Netherlands will probably just step up an extra gear and really pull through. I don't see them. I think at this point also for some of those matches it's about pride. Okay, coming into the picture. So I don't see any reason why. I mean, they've got the quality from defense to attack, so I think they're gonna step up an extra gear and pull through for that one.
Hopefully. I'm rooting for them. You don't have two players there. Spain, Georgia. Still with David. Spain, Georgia. We've been saying Georgia are the dark horse. They're keeping on. Do you think this will be the end of their tournament?
Well, I mean, it's a tricky one for this one. I mean, on one end, just like we've all said, I think there's a lot of energy for Georgia. I mean, they are the underdogs in this one, okay, and they have nothing to lose, so they're going to play with a lot of freedom and do their best. Spain have a lot to prove. If they don't get through, or if, I mean, it also depends on how the matches go from probably the first half. I think if Spain remain the way they are, playing around and doing their tiki-taka like they always do, and Georgia kind of get through and maybe score the first goal, I think Spain is going to struggle. Okay, so because of the energy that Georgia has, but I do still think Spain will pull through this one. I just think they probably will not go beyond quarterfinals, because by the time they get to quarterfinals, they're probably going to meet Germany. Okay, but I think they'll pull through this one, and then that will be the end for them.
We shall see.
Surprisingly, I would argue Spain is actually one of the best teams. They're the only team who won all three groups.
I was saying it, but none of my guys supported me on that. They were saying,
honestly, Spain is actually very good. They've been able to utilize their wingers, something that France and the other big teams haven't done properly. They've been able to utilize Nico Williams and this boy, the 16-year-old
Yamin Lama.
Also be able to utilize Ferran Torres when he comes in, Daniel Olmo as well. So the team that has the ability to switch up, they can either use quick direct wingers or players who can fill in pockets of space as well. So
sorry, Adesola, the only thing we were talking about them is that they don't really have a focal point, if you know what I mean. There's no that they don't have that person like Torres. No, Morata will go in, will go back. Sometimes you don't even see him at all. Yeah.
That's just the problem.
Ferran Torres as well.
So
Torres as well. It's not actually a 9.
Can I just
10?
Yeah. Can I just quickly come in here? Is now if you look at how teams set up from goal kick, this is where my problem is actually with Spain. You see, you can have all the ball, and there will be nothing meaningful, nothing meaningful for you to do. Georgia will set up with a low block, let Spain have the ball, but they will run Spain for 90 minutes, and Spain does not have the legs. That's one. So now, what teams do when they've not been able to break in is they do two things. Especially when a team is being marked man-to-man, the way Georgia did man-to-man in their last game. They use a focal point striker, a 9 that is very big, like Haaland, Kai Havertz, those kind of guys, Osimhen, and the likes. Morata is not one. So I'm really thinking of how, if, just like what Okusaf was saying, if Georgia is able to score one goal, Spain is going out. Or if Georgia is able to pull them through to extra time, you will see how tired legs begin to come in. I don't know, but let's see.
Because of our time, we're just going to make prediction quickly. Then we stay a bit on England, Slovakia, but Portugal, Slovenia. Everyone, sharp. What do you say?
Portugal will go through. Portugal is just they've just not been able to get their daily together. Yeah.
Sanford, do you agree with us?
Yeah. Portugal also. Maybe Ronaldo will get his first goal.
Yeah.
Ronaldo people.
I agree.
Germany, Denmark.
With their big players coming back in,
Germany, Denmark.
I just think Germany is a bit unlucky. But if removing luck from it, Germany will pull through. But Germany has really been unlucky because this team is still the most tactically complete, the most technically complete team in the entire Euros.
Yeah.
I think they are the ones scoring the highest so far. I don't think anybody has matched them so far.
Yeah.
I agree.
So everybody's saying Germany.
Yep.
Yeah,
the big one, France, Belgium.
Oh God. This game will be full of surprises. It's going to be full of surprises.
Actually, I don't think so. I think France will have an easy win. Belgium have been poor.
So is France. Belgium has not been really poor. So the problem that this is one issue that I always have with pundits when pundits talk about Belgian team. Belgium has been well set up tactically.
We are football fans. We are not pundits. So.
What we are doing is literally semi-punditry anyways. Punditry in a way. My problem is don't look at the surface value. So, sometimes a team can actually lose, and the team has actually played well. Belgium has actually been well set up. Tedesco is very good tactically, to be honest. The problem that Belgium is having is, number one, Belgium has really been unlucky. Number two, Lukaku has not been efficient in front of goal, and Lukaku has been unlucky. Three is they've not been able to, which they were able to do in their last game, been able to free up De Bruyne to do what he knows how to do.
But De Bruyne has been playing so well.
Yes.
In this competition so far.
It just started now. So I think that don't write off Belgium, don't write off Austria, don't write off Slovakia, don't write off
Romania. So what's your prediction, boy?
Belgium.
Wow.
Honestly, I disagree. Honestly, France just have too much to just turn up.
I love France.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Let's move on. David Sanford. What do you say?
Yeah, well, it just depends. If Mbappe shows up, France. If Mbappe doesn't show up, Belgium.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
With the broken nose. All right, let's go to England, Slovakia. What we say? Starting with
England
David.
I think it's definite. England is gonna get through. Southgate's job is on the line. I'm telling you, Southgate's job is on the line. He knows if he doesn't win this game against Slovakia, I think he's gone. The reputation of a lot of the players also is on the line. I think they're gonna step up and they're gonna. It might be probably like a 2-1, or maybe if they're lucky, maybe a 3-1. I think, but I think England will get through.
Adesola, what you say? England, Slovakia.
I agree. Yeah, into England. I think they just need to tweak a little, just few things for them to gel properly. And I think against Slovakia, I think they will just be too good.
All right. Timilehin.
Well, if England, if they get to penalties, England is going out. If they don't get to penalties and England is lucky enough to score a goal, they're able to find the first goal, England will go through. But then I must also say that these Euros, I give it. I tell you, one dark horse will get to the final. They might not win it, but one dark horse will get to the final.
I'm taking Austria.
Might not be Austria.
Yeah.
Could be Slovakia. Could be Georgia. Could be Austria. Could be Romania. One of those three guys.
I mean, the question also is, what's the X factor, Slovakia has? Because most times, for some of those dark horses, you must have like an X factor. Austria has that X factor of, they are pressing, and same thing with Georgia. I'm just not very sure if Slovakia have any X factor. But I agree with you that, if they get to penalties, I think England has always historically been very poor with penalties.
And we also need to remember that Luke Shaw is coming back in. So their left-hand side might improve. They will be able to be more dynamic.
Luke Shaw is not Messi.
Yeah, no, obviously. But him on the left-hand side gives them a different dynamic. Instead of having Trippier,
he doesn't give them. If they play the same way that they play, it doesn't give them. Kai Walker is a natural right back. How many times have you seen Kai Walker overlap in the England English game?
Kai Walker doesn't play like Luke Shaw.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Look at all the guys from Declan support. How many of them have been playing like the way they play? So that's my point.
Luke Shaw now.
That is my point. Is Luke Shaw Messi? Is Luke Shaw Trent Alexander-Arnold?
Well,
he's the great Luke Shaw.
But if you think about it, during the last Euros, Luke Shaw was the one that made a difference for them to score the first goal against Italy, right? Because of his forward pressing.
The tactics is different. These Euros, they'll be more passive. These Euros, they are. If you look at their pressing in the first game, was horrible, really horrible, which exposed. Trippier has been very, very good defense. Luke Shaw is good defensively anyway. So let's see. Yeah, let's see.
All right, thank you so much for coming. I just got some little things to do that we run down. How many goals did they score in England's team? Don't look at your notes. Let's start with
in England's team.
How many group?
Oh, the group.
The whole group. How many goals in total?
6 or 7.
You go with 6, no. And Safo?
Go with 7.
5.
Adesola?
England's group.
Go with 7.
7.
Yeah, it's 7.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
One of the lowest. No, one of the lowest.
All of them are not serious.
We saw one of the fastest goals
yeah.
in this competition. How many seconds does it took Albania's name Jamia to score the goal? It's just a few seconds.
Was it
37?
43.
37?
23 seconds. 23.
Oh, I knew it was that 13 or 23.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting.
1 minute did Italy scored against Croatia to make it
89.
94th minute?
Was it 89 or 90? I can't remember.
No, it was 93, 94.
Yeah, it was after 90.
Yeah, it was 93, yeah.
Well done, 98.
Ooh.
98.
Wow. Well, we're close, right?
Yeah, we're close.
That's a far shot.
I'll be going now. You already said this one already. How many goals did Lukaku miss so far? I mean, not missed, disallowed goals. He scored goals, but how many?
2,
Maybe
yeah.
say 2.
Yeah, 2. Is it 2 or 3?
Be sure now. Just say 1. We want to go.
2.
Maybe 3.
Adesola, look, bro. It's 3. Thank you so much for coming, guys. This is Football Today. Keep watching. We will come again for the quarterfinals, I believe. I'll make our prediction. Thank you and God bless you. Keep watching.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye. Sorry for coming this.